Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Gen Z suffering from menu anxiety, some too scared to even order their own food. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. From Business Insider, Gen Zers are suffering from menu anxiety, and some are too scared to order their own food at restaurants, according to a new survey. An overwhelming 86% of Gen Zers have struggled with menu anxiety when ordering at a restaurant. From psychiatrist.com, survey says 42% of Gen Z diagnosed with a mental health condition. From The Hill, over 60% of Gen Z have an anxiety disorder. Young adults seem to have unofficially earned the title of most anxious generation. And from Forbes, Gen Z faces financial challenges, stress, anxiety, and an uncertain future. And this is not to beat up on the Gen Z people, but this is a crazy story. Yes, there's menu anxiety, but 42% of Gen Z diagnosed with a mental health condition? That's a serious problem. And The Hill says over 60% of Gen Z have an anxiety disorder. A lot of this stress and anxiety has to do with the woke agenda pushing that there is no such thing as normal. The only thing that's normal is abnormal. We have to have 85 genders. We can't have a role in a household for a man or for a woman. We can't define a family. We can't even define what a woman is. We have to redefine the word racist. We have to redefine all words to comply with some sort of an agenda that pushes progressive values. Whatever these values are, they're going to be changing as time goes on to make things more confusing and to make things have less and less meaning. Other generations have their own share of anxiety. They have their own problems as well. But it is getting worse, yes, from social media, but also because there's a tremendous societal push to eliminate traditional values. There's supposed to be no such thing as normal. Abnormal is being redefined as normal. From the New York Post, Gen Z suffers from menu anxiety when dining out, with many too scared to order their own meals. Add going out for dinner to the lengthening list of things Gen Z can't or won't do like the rest of us. A surprising majority of young people reported suffering from menu anxiety while eating in a public setting, according to a study conducted by British restaurant chain Prezzo. Researchers asked more than 2,000 people how relaxed they felt while eating out, hoping to gauge how enjoyable the experience is for everyone. 86% of Gen Z adults aged 18 to 24 in the study admitted they've suffered from menu anxiety when dining in restaurants, compared to 67% of all respondents. Some of these young adults, 34%, reported feeling so anxious they wind up asking other people at the table to speak to waiters on their behalf. Quote, while most people look forward to dining out during the holiday season, we know, as our research shows, it can be stressful for some, according to the CEO of Prezzo. The frequent occurrence of this very specific fear appeared to be triggered by the increasing exorbitant cost of a meal out, along with the respondent worrying about not being able to find something they like on the menu, or after the fact, regretting what they ordered. What exactly is anxiety? Anxiety is a feeling of unease, such as worry or fear, that can be mild or severe. Everyone has feelings of anxiety at some point in their life. For example, you may feel worried and anxious about taking an exam or having a medical test or a job interview. Some Gen Zers took it to the extreme, with almost 40% of them saying they simply wouldn't go out to dinner if they couldn't check the menu first. A similar study, one conducted in the US, found that 3 in 10 Americans have menu anxiety, with Gen Zers being more nervous than older generations. The survey of 2,000 adults found younger generations were far more likely to have anxiety while ordering, 41% of Gen Zers and millennials, compared with only 15% of Gen X and baby boomers. Gen Z has continuously reported alarming rates of general anxiety, which has trickled down to impact typically inconsequential and enjoyable activities such as taking vacations and dining. Gabrielle Rubin, professor of justice studies at Montclair State University, recently released a study reporting that Gen Z is more afraid of the world than previous generations. He explained that many Gen Zers he studied have trouble socializing in real-world conditions. Quote, they are digital natives, but between COVID and other factors, they've missed out on important in-person social skills. Because so many Gen Zers are anxious and because so many have trouble in non-digital social spaces, Even activities as simple as ordering food sometimes become things to be avoided. From the Hill, over 60% of Gen Z have an anxiety disorder. And there are a lot of ways of dealing with anxiety, and I'm not going to diagnose you or make medical recommendations. I will say you can check out on YouTube, there are some people that have left some really positive comments for some of these videos that show 8 hours of relaxing rainstorm sounds. These guys have 46 million views. Here's another one saying smooth brown noise recommended for relaxation, sleep study, and tinnitus. It has 34 million views, also with some really positive comments. And in just checking a little of it, it is pretty relaxing sounding. Of course, if anybody out there has an issue, you should see a professional and talk to them. A new report from data management firm Harmony Healthcare shows that 61% of Gen Z have a medically diagnosed anxiety condition. The report includes a survey of about 1,000 Gen Zers, or adults 18 to 26, who struggle with anxiety about their anxious thoughts. While experiencing anxiety is nothing new for Gen Z, more than half the survey respondents, 54%, said their anxiety has been worse this year. And out of those with anxiety, 43% said they experience a panic attack at least once a month, if not more frequently. The most common cause of their anxiety is the future. Almost all of those surveyed said the future was their biggest worry, while 45% said it was finances. Almost 1 in 3 Gen Zers surveyed with anxiety said they use medication to help them manage the symptoms. On average, Gen Zers who take medication for anxiety started taking medication at 19 years old, according to the survey. Of those Gen Zers who take medication, 83% said they take it daily. But many Gen Zers use other forms of coping mechanisms for their anxiety besides medication. Almost half of Gen Zers surveyed said they go on walks or hikes or manage their anxiety, while others paint, write, or play an instrument. The survey also showed that 2 out of 5 go to therapy and 53% have gotten professional help for mental health at some point. Unfortunately, many Gen Zers are also coping with their anxiety in less healthy ways. Over 40% of young people with anxiety said they indulge in eating unhealthy food to manage their stress, and 30% reported binge eating, according to the survey. Meanwhile, 34% said they consume cannabis to cope with their anxiety, while 32% said they drink alcohol to manage. So why is Gen Z going through all of this? According to Forbes, Gen Z faces financial challenges, stress, anxiety, and an uncertain future. One thing to avoid to not get anxiety is to color your hair to look like this, the woman in the picture. If your hair's going to look like this, you are going to wonder multiple times throughout the day, are people looking at me funny because of my hair? There's nothing wrong with fitting in and looking normal and actually being normal. This is something not currently promoted in the culture, that it's okay to be normal. Yeah, it's more than okay to be normal. I know if I dye my hair that way, I would expect multiple times throughout the day, people would look at me and say, "What's with Adam? Why does he look like that? What kind of attention is he exactly looking for?" Gen Z feels substantial anxiety and stress about jobs, long-term financial stability, and major life steps such as buying a home and starting a family. It is almost impossible for young people starting out to buy a home. The economy is not doing well, and interest rates are absolutely through the roof. The current economy and job market are primary sources of uncertainty for this generation, according to the 2023 Gen Z segmentation study. Seeing the wave of massive layoffs in late 22 through the first half of 2023 has created feelings of distrust towards employers and job insecurity. Consequently, the data revealed that Gen Z's anxiety levels are at an all-time high. The study captured insights from more than 1,500 participants across the U.S., born between roughly 1997 and 2007, to track Gen Z's personal and professional interests and their outlook on mental health, trust, technology, career, and lifestyle ambitions. Marcy Merriman, EY American's Cultural Insights and Customer Strategy Leader, said about the survey, "Right now, Gen Z is particularly important as the newest generation of consumers, employees, and citizens that will dramatically impact businesses today and into the future." Merriman added that EY's research found that mental health is an ongoing challenge for Gen Zers. They will ultimately comprise a large component of the workforce. Elder Zoomers will soon age out of their parents' health plans and need to assume the high costs of insurance, not to mention the additional expenses of renting an apartment, paying back tuition loans, and life's necessities. According to the report, over 50% of Gen Zers said they are extremely worried about not having enough money. In light of the economic turmoil, fears of a recession, the ascension of artificial intelligence, and corporate downsizing, making a living is a top priority for young adults. This group is also stressed about making poor financial decisions with their hard-earned money. Many people got burned chasing meme stocks, SPACs, NFTs, and cryptocurrencies during the big bubble pandemic over exuberance. Nearly 70% of the respondents self-reported that their financial situation was not looking good. Gen Zers are juggling several gigs and jobs. Around 65% worked part-time or full-time jobs last year, while 56% earned money from freelance or side hustle work. 39% of Gen Z earned money working both a job and a side hustle. After a few years of working remotely, companies are pushing people to return to the office. There's a discomfort transitioning from being stuck at home during the pandemic and needing to navigate corporate etiquette. According to Tara Salinas, a professor of business ethics at the University of San Diego, Gen Z's native digital skills may have come at the cost of in-person communication and interpersonal relationships. Well, that is pretty obvious. Of course they did. Gen Z are digital natives and they've always communicated online, so their interpersonal skills or soft skills have suffered. Data from a 2023 report by Miro on asynchronous work reveals that many Gen Z workers find it challenging to communicate effectively in the workplace. They have difficulty asking for help and struggle to navigate collaborative processes with their colleagues. If you or anyone you know is having problems dealing with anxiety getting through the day, of course, it's important to seek professional help. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.